first-time visitor to Universal Orlando can fall into many traps like overspending, wasting time in ride lines, and common planning mistakes. And after multiple visits personally running into these issues, I wanted to share 9 hacks every guest should use at Universal Orlando in 2026. And don't miss hack number 9 because it's a way you'll almost be guaranteed to get on all the most popular rides in the theme parks and skip the hour-long wait times. So let's go ahead and get on into it. The first 3 hacks are going to help you save some money and also give you some packing tips. And tip number 1 here is related to how to get the power-up bands and interactive Harry Potter wands at a cheaper price. These power-up bands are perfect if you're going to Super Nintendo World. They are an interactive wristband that you can wear on your wrist similar to a slap bracelet. You can purchase these in the parks or at the hotels. And the neat thing is you can pair it to the Universal Orlando app so you can start collecting the coins and the achievements that you get whenever you're interacting in the land. Similar to the interactive Harry Potter wands, there are numerous wand spots around all 3 of the Harry Potter lands, whether it's at Epic Universe or over in Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. There's lots of places that you can go interact with these wand spots. But these power-up bands inside of the parks are usually around $42, and the wands range depending on if you're getting the interactive one or the one that actually lights up and vibrates. But this tip is actually thanks to a viewer that I ran into at the parks. They were telling me about this site that you can go on. It's called Wizards and Plumbers, and you can actually rent these power-up bands and wands for your vacations. I was looking at the sites and it looks like the power-up bands seem to be about $15 to rent. And again, I have no affiliation with this site. I've never tried it personally, but I thought it was so nice if you're going for the first time and don't plan on going for a while. It would be nice to potentially just rent yourself a power-up band or a wand to use when you can interact in the parks. All that to say, if I had to choose between one of them, if you're a Harry Potter fan, definitely go for the wands. There's so many wand spots around the parks, but I did love using the power-up band. It was so fun to interact, try to collect the keys, and then do the Bowser Jr. challenge when you're in Super Nintendo World. The second hack to save some money, I'm sure you've seen, is to bring your own water bottle. And if you haven't heard of it, you can actually bring your own reusable water bottles into the Universal Orlando theme parks. The nice thing about Universal compared to other theme parks I've been to is they have these Coca-Cola Freestyle machines positioned all around the theme parks that you can go and find, and you can actually refill your water bottles with ice cold water. That is so nice to help keep you hydrated during the day, and it's going to save you about $5 to $6 instead of spending individually on other water bottles that you can purchase inside of the theme parks. I always bring a water bottle, whether it's one that is just a plastic water bottle that I can use, refill, and then dispose of at the end of the day, or one that is actually stainless steel and that you can reuse throughout your visit. I know some people have an issue with the taste of the Universal water. It's not as bad as the Disney World water, but if you do have issues with that, definitely bring yourself some liquid IV that'll keep you hydrated, flavor the water, maybe give you a little incentive to continue drinking water during the day, or you can get a filtered one like this Brita water bottle to help filter out the taste. All that to say, bring yourself a reusable water bottle, put it in your park bag so you can stay hydrated and save money during your trip. And the third packing related hack is picking the right park bag to help you avoid using the ride lockers. There's a couple of different tricks and stipulations that I have with this one, so we are going to chat through it. If you haven't ever been to Universal before, they are different from other theme parks where you do have to use ride lockers to store your bags and belongings in for select rides. This is mainly for backpacks in bigger bags that you wear on your back or that are too big to fit on the ride safely. The only little detail that is very nice is you can bring fanny packs and sling style bags on select rides with you. So if you are not packing a lot of essentials during the day when you're visiting the park, or you don't plan on bringing a backpack or a lounge fly, trying to plan around using some type of fanny pack or sling style bag is perfect to avoid using the ride lockers. The only thing I want to say right off the bat is there are rides that you are required to store everything in no matter what. Those rides are rides that use the metal detectors like Velocicoaster or Stardust Racers over at Epic Universe. There you have to have everything off of you and store it all in a ride locker. So that is the only stipulation and different thing whenever it comes to the bags that you decide to bring to the parks. But for rides like Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Adventure, or if you are going on the Gringotts Bank ride over in Universal Studios, having a fanny pack or a sling style bag has been perfect to just wear on the front of you, and you can still bring it on the rides with you. I wanted to give a couple of recommendations in case you don't have a park bag to go to Universal. These are 2 that I have loved using in the parks because they're they're still sizable to hold a lot of essentials, but you can bring them on select rides with you. This is the freshly picked park pack. This one's been great because it has a flap on the top. It is secure because it has a zipper, but there's also enough space inside that you can use it as a wallet, put your phone, your keys, anything that you really need for the day that are the bare minimum essentials. And then it does have a clasp here that you can snap in and out and resize it around either your waist or around the front of you. The other bag I have absolutely loved, this is what I started using before getting Loungeflies to go to Universal, is the North Face Field Bag. This bag is definitely bigger than I thought it was before getting it. It has a nice strap on the top. You can wear it on your front, and I also like it too, depending on how you wear it, you can actually put it on your back and then sling it to the front, that when you're walking around the park, it's convenient to access any items on the inside. It is pretty sizable. I fit my portable camera, water bottle, a fan, portable charger. There's so many things inside of here, and it also has a padded back. I assume for if you wanted to use it to store a iPad or some type of tablet. Of course, we don't really use that in the parks, but it is nice that it has a ton of features. It's lightweight, and it also is nice if you do need to use the ride lockers, it just slips in and out very easily, and you don't have to worry about shoving your bag in the ride locker. The only tip I have, if you've never been before and you aren't sure what bags can and can't go onto rides, I always like to go to the front of the ride entrance and ask the team member specifically if this is a bag that I can bring on the ride. That way I don't get to the end of the line seeing that a team member sees me and doesn't let me ride because of the bag. So better safe than sorry. No matter the bag you have, ask a team member at the entrance and see if you need to use a ride locker or not. The second section here are going to be park specific hacks, and the fourth thing is going to be perfect for butterbeer lovers and coffee lovers because this drink combines the two. Of course, you know, when going to the Harry Potter worlds, this is a very popular drink to get that is called butterbeer. It is like a butterscotchy flavored drink that is so good, and it comes in many forms. But the neat thing is, if you are visiting the late fall and during the winter time, a perfect drink to try out is the warm butterbeer mixed with a shot of espresso from Starbucks. I cannot take credit for this idea. I actually got it from a comment from one of the viewers that I was talking about the different types of butterbeer, and they mentioned doing this little hack where you go to Starbucks, you get a double shot of espresso, and then you go to one of the areas around the Universal Orlando theme parks in the Harry Potter lands where you can get a warm butterbeer, and you add the double shot of espresso to the warm butterbeer. The warm butterbeer is already so comforting and just a right amount of butterscotch to give it a different taste. But then once you add that espresso in, it is like the perfect mix of coffee, butterbeer, all in one drink, and it is so warm and comforting to try that is very different than what you've maybe ever experienced. Now, the nice thing about this that was not available whenever I tried this in the Universal parks, I actually did this in Universal Studios. So in the New York section, that's where the Starbucks is located. So I got the double shot of espresso, had to make the little bit of a walk over into Diagon Alley to get the warm butterbeer. But what might be a little bit more convenient and may be perfect to start your day in the parks is if you're in City Walk, you go to the Starbucks, and then right across from it is the new area that you can actually get butterbeer inside a City Walk. Grabbing your warm butterbeer and just adding it all together before you get into the theme parks. It is the perfect mix of Harry Potter and coffee lovers' dream. So let me know if you would try it out in the comments. The other hack that is the fifth one on our list here is also drink related, and that is keeping an eye out on the menus at the quick service restaurants to see if a drink is included in the meal. This is different across Universal Orlando property. I have seen some items do include a freestyle drink and some items do not include a drink. The main reason I wanted to bring this up to you is if you are someone likes drinking pop or soda, depending on how you say it, the last thing you would want to do is order some type of meal only to find out that you purchased a drink separately and it actually came with a drink. This has changed multiple times whenever I've gone to Universal theme parks. The one thing that I tried whenever I was in Epic Universe and I went to the French cafe, whenever I was ordering the quiche, I noticed that some of the entrees actually included a drink option where you could add on some of the different Harry Potter drinks like a butterbeer or the violet lemonade that they have. But the last visit that I went, they actually do not include the drinks anymore. So my tip to you is whether you're ordering in person or you're ordering on the app, just see if it is or isn't included. That way you aren't spending extra on drinks. I know people like using the Coca-Cola Freestyle machines. I do not have experience using that, but after reading the comments, it seems like a lot of people do find value in getting that for your trip. And I also wanted to say too, if you are visiting the Harry Potter lands like Diagon Alley and over in Hogsmeade, need. If you go to Three Broomsticks and the Leaky Cauldron, a lot of the breakfast items that are there do include a drink option, and that's a great way to get your butterbeer fix that is also included in your breakfast. That's a little pro tip and something that we like to do every time we go to Three Broomsticks. Speaking of ordering food, the sixth hack that you should consider before going to the Universal theme parks is downloading the Universal Orlando app on your phone. I know that sounds like a very generic tip to give you, but the reason I recommend this is because the app is full of a lot of details that you can take advantage of during your trip that'll help save you time and also money in some instances. You may or may not be familiar with how to order food in the Universal theme parks. Universal is one of my favorite places to go and get quick service dining meals because the nice detail is they have a QR code on the tables that you can actually go pick your spot to eat, sit down, scan the QR code, scroll through what the menu is, and sometimes they do have photos aside of the menu items so you can see if it's something that you'd like to eat or not. You can order your food and they will have a team member bring everything out to you so you don't have to leave your table. You can stay conveniently there and have everything delivered to you. This was perfect at Pizza Moon at Epic Universe and also the French Cafe. It was so nice to just sit, get an AC break, and have our food delivered to us. It also saves time so that way you don't have to wait in line to order your food. And my least favorite thing whenever I'm at theme parks is ordering my food, getting it, and then just walking around aimlessly trying to find a spot to sit. It's so convenient at Universal, but the other detail that I really like about the app, I recommend downloading it ahead of time so you can get a payment method all in there for whenever you are going to order. It's a lot more convenient rather than trying to enter it whenever you're at the parks. And in terms of rides, I know a lot of people are concerned about the wait times and waiting too long or how long you actually want to wait for a certain ride. The nice detail that they have on the Universal app, if you go to the map feature and you scroll to the ride that you want to ride, but it doesn't have the wait time that you want, you can actually click on to the ride icon, and here it will show you that there is a spot that you can actually set a wait time alert. So it has this toggle that you can spread and set the wait time that you would like to wait for it, and then you can go ahead and say set alert. It will log that into the phone, and then if the wait time goes below or at the wait time that you have set, it'll send you a notification so you can go back and ride that ride. This is transparently not something that I've used a ton in the Universal parks, but I have used it during Halloween Horror Nights because that is a feature that they have during that time of year. Whenever you go, you can set wait times for the different houses, but it's still nice if you haven't been or it's your first time in a while and you want to catch lower wait times. The last section we're going to talk about relates to hotels and planning your Universal Orlando vacation. And the seventh hack here that I wish I knew sooner before going to Universal Orlando is that having a travel agent changes the entire planning process. I had no idea about this before starting to go to the Universal and Disney World theme parks. I had no idea that it is free to use travel agent services. It's actually complimentary and they're included in your booking. Essentially what you can do is use a travel agent and they will help you get your tickets, your flights, your hotels, everything booked that you need for your vacation, and all of their services are complimentary into the booking process. But what I like about it most is you have a dedicated expert who has been to the parks, knows what to do, can direct you in the right direction. If you've never planned a Universal vacation before, they can help you figure out what ticket prices, what ticket options, what hotel is perfect for you and your party. So that way you get the most out of your experience and it takes the stress out of the planning process. This honestly sounded too good to be true and something I had not even realized before finding out about travel agencies, but we have partnered with our friends Kelly and her team over at KMV Travel. They are knowledgeable and know everything there is to know about planning a Universal Orlando vacation. If you are in the planning process, I will go ahead and link all of their information in the description below. And Kelly and her team will lead you in the right direction to help you get the planning started. Of course, I will always be here in video form to help share tips and tricks and everything inside of the parks, giving you hotel tours, ride reviews, food reviews, all the things that you need. But if you are planning a vacation, I do love that Kelly and her team are so knowledgeable in Disney and Universal and have your back whenever it comes to planning a trip. The eighth hack here is also hotel related and something I learned on my last trip, and that's that different Universal characters can send you a wake-up call in the morning in your hotel rooms. I learned the hard way, and you've probably heard this story before, that I set an alarm on my phone and I completely missed it during one of my Universal Orlando trips. I was going to meet a friend, we were going to rope drop, all the things, and my alarm did not go off. I was so embarrassed and so upset, and from that day forward, forward, I started setting wake-up calls on the hotel phone, so that way I at least had my phone and then also the wake-up call as a backup in case my phone did not go off. But what I realized my last trip, whenever I went to schedule the wake-up call, I heard that there's an option where you can have the operator wake you up, or select universal characters can actually give you the call in the morning. You can go through on the phone, you can set the time that you want the call to be delivered, but there's also a list of like 9 different characters like Betty Boop or Spider-Man, different characters like that, King Kong, that will wake you up in the morning and get your Universal day started. I know I'm an adult, but I still found that to be a very fun detail to get your Universal day going and give you a little bit more boost to get up in the morning. Last but certainly not least is the 9th hack that you should absolutely take advantage of at Universal Orlando if you are staying at a Universal Orlando hotel, and that is early admission. This is going to be the biggest difference in helping you to get a 10-minute wait on Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Adventure rather than 2 hours later in the day. Let's chat about it a little bit. If you aren't familiar with it, as a Universal hotel guest, you actually get 1 hour early admission into Universal's Islands of Adventure and Epic Universe to start enjoying the day before other park guests can get into the park. I know it is very difficult to get up early on your vacation, but you will not be disappointed if you choose to do early admission. The biggest tip that I have for you, whether you're staying at a hotel that uses the buses or the water taxis, try to get the earliest form of transportation possible. I always go down and ask the front desk what time the buses or the water taxis are going to start running, and I try to get there about 10 to 15 minutes beforehand because sometimes they do start a little bit early, and I try to get the first bus to get to the theme parks. This will give you time to get through security and to get in line waiting at the park gates. And I know I always get comments from viewers whenever they're watching my early admission videos or my reviews of doing early admission, they're saying you are already waiting so much time outside of the park gates. But my thinking is that waiting that you're waiting outside of the park gates, it does not officially cut into your early admission window or your official theme park time that you have inside of the parks. So personally, I would rather spend the time waiting outside, knowing that I have a good position to get into the theme park and ride some of the most popular rides and be one of the first ones on them. When at Islands of Adventure, I tried this my last trip and I was actually able to ride all 4 of the early admission rides at Islands of Adventure. I will link the video below. And then if you'd also be interested in seeing what early admission looks like over at Epic Universe, where we rode the Battle at the Ministry ride and were able to get on it and then maximize time elsewhere, I will share a full video next so you can see how to use this perk at Epic Universe's newest park. So those are 9 hacks I wish I knew before starting to go to Universal Orlando, and the biggest way that you can save time, money, and be prepared for your day is having the best packing list possible before going to Universal Orlando. There's a lot of things that guests don't know about and completely skip during the packing process that I wanted to direct you to this video here so you can get packed and prepped ready for your Universal Orlando trip. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your hacks in the comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys.